Well, folks, we're fresh off the heels of the ASRock motherboard mess that was killing X3Ds. And before that, we had ASUS stuff with their quick release mechanism messing up video cards. And now we got another one on the back, this time Gigabyte, with a situation that could be problematic for you if you do some recent updates on your motherboard. What you may ask? Let's get into this. Hey everyone, it's about a lot tech back again, some more tech news. A little on the darker side today, not good news by any means. But recently we had a situation with ASRock motherboards, specifically X870 and X870E ones, and a couple B850 motherboards for ASRock, killing X3D chips, especially the 9800X3D and one or two situations with the 9950X3D. Now, we thought that was cleared up from what I've been seeing online in the last couple of weeks to months, and with their recent update that they did to fix it. And now we had, before ASRock situation, we had ASUS messing up their people's video cards with a quick release mechanism so badly that they had to revisit and re-engineer their quick release on the more recent motherboards. Now we got Gigabyte. Now it's no stranger to anyone that some of these motherboard RGB control software is problematic. And a lot of people, because of this particular reason, a lot of people use like free open source RGB controlling software like Signal RGB or Open RGB, whichever one your preference is. But we all know that every little RGB control software and all these major manufacturer motherboards have their own quirks and issues. No one is perfect or seamless. Not even the great and mighty ASUS with their Armor Crate software or RSync, however they call it now. But now, if you have a motherboard that's Gigabyte, don't matter if it's micro, E88 or ATX, and if it's a Z790 on Intel front, or a B650 or B650E Gigabyte motherboard, you might want to hold off if you see a pending update for their Gigabyte control software. I think Gigabyte calls their stuff Gigabyte Control Center or something like that. I know MSI is Mystic Light, but I can't remember that Gigabyte's name. But let's call it Gigabyte RGB Control Center just for the sake of trying to remember that exact specific name. If you have a Z790 chip or Z690 chip on Intel front or a B650 or B650E, haven't seen anything online yet with the B850, X670 or X870s yet. But for those ones I just mentioned, the Z790, the Z690, B650 and B650E Gigabyte motherboards, they recently had an update. I think it's called T5072 and T05071, if not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. I'll leave the article below so you can see the exact specific update name. But it's one of those. It's either one of those updates for the RGB control center. If you see that update pending, if you have any of those chipsets that I just mentioned, please, 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 for the love of God, do not update to either version, the 02 or the 01, because now there have been instances even on Reddit and across a bunch of articles and forums that the latest updates of each of those 501 or 502 updates for the Gigabyte RGB software has been breaking people's motherboards and whole system, and it's been problematic to get back on their feet, but it's been bricking them. So if you have a Z790, Z690, B650 or B650E Gigabyte motherboard, please do not update to either of those updates or any of the latest updates. Again, the update names ended 501 and 502. Please do not update, because if you do that, you'll be sorry and you'll regret it. So we thought everyone was getting on an ASRock's case because of the motherboard situation with the X3D chips, and everyone's got on ASUS's case with the quick release mechanism. No, I'm interested to see how people are going to react that actually had this experience with them or knew a friend that updated to either one of those updates for Gigabyte's RGB software and it bricked their system. The percentage rate of successful bricks has been probably closer to 70%. So not every single one, but the vast majority of people who updated on any of those chipset platforms on the Gigabyte front, on any of those updates, have been getting bricked. And they had to go through a whole recovery, painstaking recovery phase. And some people didn't get it back up and running after like hours of troubleshooting. So save yourself the mess and do not update to the latest Gigabyte RGB software update, because if you update to even 501 or 502, there's a 70% chance, give or take, that is going to break your system. So I just thought I saw this article, this thing going on at Tom's Hardware, I believe it was, and I thought I should bring it to y'all attention for people who do rock Gigabyte motherboards and any of those chips I mentioned earlier. So please, please be careful. We don't want you burning your hard-earned money on them breaking your system, especially people that just build a new system that are planning for ages. Please, for your sanity, please do not update to the 501 or 502 update for Gigabyte's RGB software. I just thought I should give this piece of advice out there. I get behind it and share it to my viewers, just so in the event that y'all do have a Gigabyte motherboard on those chipsets, just be cautious. But until then, this is BioLockTech signing out.